You're listening to the Rebel Scum podcast.
You are always scum. Rebel Scum.
From odds making to list rankings, we've got you covered. And don't forget to join us on Patreon for early access and exclusive content. Here are your hosts, Brock and James.
Hey, Brock.
Hey. Every year.
It's a tradition.
Year.
I gotta see if we're recording because I don't know if we're recording. I have an eye doctor. I have an optometrist appointment. I'll call them what they are. Optometrist appointment on Thursday. I called the one closest to me. They're like, our next available time is February 2021. I said, I don't remember this like being so hard to see out of. Like, I knew it wasn't like. Oh wait, I am Darth Maul. We'll be making Solo the series, Darth Maul, and Kira soon. That's an exclusive. Brock, how you doing? You ready for Halloween?
Yeah, I think so. I haven't carved my pumpkin yet, but yeah.
Well, if you carve it too early, it just like melts away by Halloween, huh?
Yeah, that's why I haven't carved it yet.
Well, yeah, I'm not.
I had the same argument. I was like, oh, if we haven't carved it yet by now, then why bother? I'm like,
But you can't carve it.
It's for a one day. He's like, yeah, I know, one day. You carve it on the week prior. I'm like, what?
Who carves it? But if you carve, it only lasts like a day. Like the minute you carve it, it starts shriveling up. You got to carve it like either the day of or the day before. I'm gonna take this off because I don't know if but that's I mean, I'm with you on this one.
Like I would say, carve it on Thursday night.
I would say that's like the earliest I would.
Yeah.
I think anything before that, and you're looking for a disaster.
Mostly because I always assume the day before. It's Saturday, right? The day before if you put your pumpkin out, you risk the chance of hooligans smashing your pumpkins because it's Devil's Night, if they even call it that still.
I do. Yeah. I don't know if society does.
Yeah, because we were born in the 80s. Of course we do.
Yo, I just watched Trick or Treat. Have you ever seen Trick or Treat?
Is that the one where it's like short stories and?
Yeah, but it's not. But it is. It is. So I've wanted to watch this for years. This movie, and Andrew Fantasia's always like, "You gotta watch it." I'm like, I will one day, but it's not like available anywhere. So it went on sale on iTunes. So I grabbed it. I just bought it. It was pretty cheap. I bought it, and we watched it. Aaron and I watched it last week. It's so good. It is. I think I'm gonna watch it every Halloween. It's just, if you like Halloween. I know you're like me, where you like the scary stuff doesn't appeal to us too much.
Yeah.
This one is more fun than scary.
Yeah.
It's kind of like it's definitely for adults, but it's more like this is what a Halloween special should be. It embraces everything Halloween in it. And it was just, it was a lot of fun.
So this is a very spooky episode.
I got a pumpkin behind me. A blue jack-o'-lantern.
Episode 187. I'm Brock. This is
James.
Talking about Halloween. Have you checked out the Halloween section of Disney Plus? We probably have already brought this up.
Have I checked out the Halloween section? I think I watched Haunted Mansion. I literally sat.
Perfect. Okay.
Yeah, I watched Haunted Mansion. I was talking to a friend, Trevor. You remember Trevor, Trevor, and he's been reviewing like Halloween, like scary movies all of October. And I went down. I was like, "Are you good?" I'm like, "I'm watching Haunted Mansion," and he goes, "What are you giving it?" I said a 6. I ended up giving it a 7.7 out of 10 because I enjoyed it way more than I think I should have, and it made me smile not so much laugh, but it made me smile several times. But Frankenweenie is my new favorite Disney movie. Like, so good.
Well, let me ask you this, because I recently watched Haunted Mansion for the first time.
Me too.
Well, like in the spring.
Oh, okay.
You're a movie person. When you watch that movie, did you at any point sort of be like, this wasn't meant for Eddie Murphy. This was meant for like a Chevy Chase.
Yeah.
Like the premise is like he doesn't like his wife, and like Eddie Murphy doesn't really play that kind of character. Not that he can. But you know what I mean. Like,
Yeah.
I'm like, this was meant for a family or a married couple that don't actually get along, or at least the man doesn't appreciate the woman.
Yeah.
I was like,
it had the tropes of like Hook.
Yeah.
You know, like that. Like, yeah, it definitely felt. Well, I mean, the whole thing was made because of Pirates of the Caribbean. It was during that time where they're like, all of our theme park rides should be movies. And then somewhere along the line, they're like, no, they shouldn't. By the way, sorry to side Akbar here. Tower of Terror, Steve Guttenberg, a.k.a. Shia LaBeouf 1, and Kirsten Dunst is not on Disney+. I was like, this is what I want to watch. Because I went on the Tower of Terror for the first time 2 years ago. And I had the time of my life on that ride. When Aaron and I went alone that day, and we were like, and she said, we've got a fast pass. She goes, what do you want it for? I'm like, just Tower of Terror. That's all I want to do. And the whole experience, I don't know if you've been, but you line up, well, you don't like rides, but you line up, and then you're in like this haunted tower, and then you go up, and they show you like this Twilight Zone episode, and then you drop. And it's 25 seconds long. And it was the most fun ever. The line, we got the fast pass where it was like 20 minutes, but the line was like 2.5 hours or something crazy. Same with Haunted Mansion, I think it was 3.5 hours. But man, Steve Guttenberg, aka Shia LaBeouf 1, why is that not on Disney Plus? But yeah, to your point though, yeah, Eddie Murphy, it was one of those things where it probably wasn't written for Eddie Murphy. Who knows? The script was probably written in like 1988 for Chevy Chase.
Exactly. That's what I was gonna say. It's like this was like somebody wrote this script and like they're like, yeah, maybe we'll make it someday. And then Pirates of the Caribbean became a success. They're like,
we gotta make them all. Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense because if you've ever been on the Haunted Mansion ride, there's like an overabundance of characters and little stories that they've never really fleshed out, but exist, and they don't really. I could be wrong. They don't really seem to put that much into the movie. It's just like, here's your handful of ghosts, and that's it.
Yeah. So funny. We went on the Haunted Mansion. I went with my 6-year-old niece. She's 8 now. She was 6 at the time. And I thought she was going to be scared on the Haunted Mansion. So it's me and her on this cart, and we go in, and there's one part where this door is like opening.
Yeah.
And the ride gets stuck. And we're stuck there for like 10 minutes with this ghost trying to burst through the door. Yeah. And she started to get more and more freaked out the longer we were there. And then it reached a point and she was like, it's animated. It's like she was like, it's fake. Like but she was getting terrified. I was like, oh my gosh, she's never gonna go on a ride again. And then she did. So it was a good time. But yeah, it definitely didn't feel like an Eddie Murphy movie.
Honestly, you could have put Chevy Chase and Beverly D'Angelo and any of the iteration of those two kids, it'd be the same movie. You're like, oh yeah.
That's true. Actually, that would have been a fun vacation movie.
Oh, absolutely.
National Lampoon's Haunted Mansion Vacation.
Yeah.
Good times. Halloween. Star Wars is getting a Christmas special this year, but not a Halloween special. Do you think they'll ever make a Halloween special for Star Wars? Do you think Lego? Because I mean, Lego. If this is successful, do you think they could do a Halloween one?
No, for sure. Like,
why have
there's got to be something maybe that pre-exists, like in that Lego Freemakers thing. But oh yeah, absolutely. But I don't know if like a Halloween special would have the same magic as a holiday special. Of course, we haven't seen anything yet, so perhaps. Who knows? I don't want it to be like a one-off.
I do too, but if it's fun is fun, you know? Like,
yeah, but like Lego already exists, so it's like you can easily do something Lego and Halloween. That's
what I mean. It should be a given. Yeah. They should. I think they should. I would love to see it, because the one thing I've been saying for a while on this is Star Wars has been taking itself too seriously. It's like, we can't have the detour show because we don't want kids laughing at Darth Vader. Why? Well, why can't they laugh at Darth Vader? Like, why does everybody have to be afraid of everything? So for me, I am all for whatever they want to do with Star Wars in any situation. I don't care. Make it funny, make it serious, make it dark. Because, I mean, look, I'm a huge Archie comic fan, obviously. and I'm watching the Sabrina the Teenage Witch series on Netflix. My previously watched on Netflix are Sabrina the Teenage Witch, The Witcher, Castlevania, and there's one more, The Haunting Bly Manor, which was partway through it. I said, "Is this kind of show?" And I asked somebody, and they confirmed. And the very last episode, somebody calls it out on being exactly what it is, and I was like, "Well, at least the show acknowledged that it's not a." Anyway, I won't spoil it, but it was good. But it's like it acknowledged what it actually truly was. It disguises itself as a ghost story. I'll say that. But anyway, it was that's all I watched on Netflix. It's pretty hilarious. But I would love. But what I was getting at is with Archie comics, you have this chilling Sabrina. They just and now Archie's been doing like every day in October on Twitter. They're sharing like their Halloween issues and stuff. And there's like Jughead's a werewolf or like a vampire hunter and stuff like that. And it's like, okay, it's stupid. And it's Archie. But why can't Star Wars have, maybe not to that extent, but why can't Star Wars just have fun? And just kind of get out of the box a little bit. Don't worry about everything connecting. Just have a good time. And that's what I'm really excited about this Lego special, is that it's finally like, let's just embrace everything Star Wars and have a great time with it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we'll see. Because it's like, there's a backlog on content, so...
What? What are you talking about?
You know, I think the success of the holiday special will definitely do something. I don't know. It's
Are we going to group watch that together? Is that what it's called? Group.
Yeah, that's what it's called.
Yeah, group watch. I haven't done it. You've done it. I have not done it yet.
Yeah, it's neat.
Sure. I've watched Frankenweenie I think 3 times. Haunted Mansion 1. That's enough. And I watched Ichabod Crane like probably 30 times.
Have you watched the new version of Frankenweenie?
Like the claymation one?
Yeah.
That's like 8 years old now, but it's so I couldn't believe how. No, that's the one I watched like 3 times.
Oh, you haven't watched
I watched the other one too. Yeah, because when you finished that one, I think I'm pretty sure I saw the original Frankenweenie at some point, like in college or something. But like, you know, when you finish Frankenweenie, it suggests the original, and then I was like, well, I've got 26 minutes to waste, and I put it on. Oh, but yeah. So the first time ever Netflix says, "Are you still watching something?" to me. The first time I ever got it in my life was like 3 episodes in, but I wasn't actually watching something. It was just on in the background. So
okay.
I said, "I am not. Thank you for reminding me that this TV was on." I turned it off. Yeah. More Star Wars content would be. We're getting some Friday.
Yeah,
Hallelujah.
I am excited.
Hallelujah.
Disney Plus needs to stop reminding me, because I have been thinking about it every day.
It reminds you?
3 more days till Mandalorian. 4 more days.
Oh, I know. Well, shout out to Adam Garcia on he's been doing that for like 6 months, I'm pretty sure, and he did that with it all. But yes, they want you to know Mandalorian's coming out. They want you to know. Pedro Pascal was on Good Morning America. Did you see that little interview that he did there?
No, I didn't.
It was all right. He's not gonna like. They asked him if he's gonna be without his helmet more, and he was and he joked about how when he gets asked certain questions, the mics drop out and he can't hear them. Like it's a Disney owned show. They know the rules. I don't understand why anybody is trying to be cheeky with these questions. They're just boring.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, he can't say anything. So why ask it? Like, there's got to be a better question for you to ask.
Yeah. Yeah, I often wonder what goes through their minds on this. It's like, come on. And especially now, like, he's got a whole bunch of things to promote. I mean,
the last question was about Wonder Woman.
But it's just like, there's a bunch of things. So, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't.
Oh,
But whatever.
then they're like, well, you're on the show because Mandalorian's coming out. Like, great.
Yeah, that's why. But there's got to be look, what the hell is that thing called? I just forgot what it was called. The Vision. What's it called?
WandaVision?
No, the TV screen, that they shoot on. What's the set called in the Mandalorian?
Oh, the volume.
God, the volume.
What's that thing?
How can you not understand me? Also, nobody can tell, but you're actually looking at me on profile. If I turn like this, you can see me. So you're just seeing this.
Yeah.
Anyway, so like, ask him a question about that, or animatronics that he's working with, or things like that. There's so many other questions that they could have gone with. But anyway, it was a fun interview. He said that when he read the script for the first episode of season 2, it completely blew him away. And it gave him the idea that this is how they're going to one-up the first season. I'm not going to speculate on that too much. I don't know if you want to, but I'm not going to, because we are just a couple days away from seeing it. Yeah. And I am all ready for it. I don't care if they don't show me another picture or anything from the season. I said this to you before we got that first trailer. Yeah. And I'm already watching it. They don't have to sell me on this show. I'm very excited, but I sent you a picture, and I want you to talk about this. The picture of the Mando riding a certain creature.
Yeah, the Funko Pop.
It was a Funko Pop.
On the Bantha, which is exciting. I kind of hate and love that they reveal stuff with toys, because like they basically point out like this Mithril character, a fish character that Horatio Sands plays in the first one. It's probably not the same character, but that race. And
well, he's in the trailer.
And he's in the trailer.
Yeah,
right. Yeah. But like, I never brought this up, but they had like leaked pictures of that, and there's like some leak of a Funko Pop where like Baby Yoda is with like this machine thing that has like eggs in it, and you're like, what? So I'm like, I don't think it really reveals anything until you actually watch it, unless you see this machine prior. I don't know.
The first episode starts with a machine, and you're like, well, now I know how that's going to play out.
Yeah. It's sort of like, can't you wait?
Yeah.
Like, so I'm excited like to see him on a Bantha. I mean, that's no huge surprise, because we knew Tusken Raiders are going to be in this season. So, yeah, why not? Throw him on. You threw him on, oh, God. What was those
the
things?
Blurg.
The Blurgs, thank you.
Yeah. I have that Funko, the Blurg one.
Time. No, I know. You've shown it to me numerous times.
I know. I'm excited to see this, because I wish there was more Blurgs, but they went the way of the Quill.
Yeah.
By the way, that Quill vintage toy that they showed, have you seen the picture of that?
Yeah, it's in the Holo News.
Oh, I'm sorry. Apparently, it's sold out everywhere.
Yeah, probably.
Pre-order sells. I will tell you that is the one that I want the most. And I just love how it's going to be way too expensive for how crappy it looks, but it's like, that's what I would have played with in 1983. Like, that's the one. And I love it so much.
So yeah, I mean, that's exciting. That's he's going to be on a Bantha. When's the last time we saw a Bantha? Like, do we think this is going to be slightly different?
Well, they were in season 1, no?
Yes.
I feel like we saw them in season.
Because they go to Tatooine, right?
Yeah, I don't think they were like they weren't the focal point, but I'm pretty sure we saw them in season 1.
So
we should have done.
My curiosity is how they're gonna make that. Like, is it still gonna be like a puppet, or will it be more like a Blurg where it's half and half, and it's a little bit of CG action?
Well,
like,
wasn't a Bantha like an elephant?
Yeah, it's big.
No, but like, didn't they took an animal and just put like a carpet on?
Yeah, originally, yeah.
I'm sure they'll just do that.
Yeah,
that's got to be the easiest. But
we'll love that.
They do that, but then the thing runs through the screen of the volume. I'm excited for Gamorrean Guards also.
Yeah. I saw that the Funkos of that is out now. Hot Topic for sure, but probably I think that one's just all over the place. So
I haven't seen any. I haven't been to a store that sells Funko Pop in.
Well, neither have I. I'm just on the internet. But oh god, there was something else. Yeah, but like it's exciting. I'm very interested to see. It would be cool if like they do something with the Bantha and make it move a little bit more elaborately. Because what's stopping them from exploring like what that animal can actually do?
I feel like this is we're at this part in Star Wars now where what you just said is there was limitations before of what they could and could not do with these creatures. Now those limitations are it's endless. The possibilities are endless, but I think that could also be a negative. It could have a negative effect to it as well, because sometimes. But I think and I don't know. I'm not really worried about the Mandalorian, but I feel like sometimes the limitations force more creativity on you. Yeah. Whereas if you're like the possibilities are endless and you start doing everything, it's like it's a little bit boring. I was thinking about this I've been watching all shockingly like these cheesy horror stuff, and when you watch it and when the decades start to move on and closer to what we are, all of a sudden you see CG starting to take in, and deaths become way more elaborate, but they're less terrifying because the viewer can see everything, but it also doesn't look real anymore. But they could do more, right? Like they could show all these multiple things, but it's taking away from the charm of what used to be there. And I think part of Star Wars' charm is in the way 3PO walks, is in the way the Banthas just kind of like shift around, is in the way the blurgs but they went back and they made them, they kind of had that hiccup that they had in the 80s when they created the blurgs and the original Ewok stuff. They brought that into this series because I think, and the sequel trilogy was a lot of fun, and when they did the practicals it was great. And what it is, it's that little bit of Star Wars charm is in the imperfections of these fantastic molds, basically.
Mm-hmm. So going off the blurg, like something that was like a stop motion creature at one point, it's like, oh well, what do you got? What can you do with a Bantha? So I'm interested. Or it could just be something in the background. You just see the top of it when they're riding on top. I don't know. We'll see.
I hope we get more. I do hope we get more. But at the same time, I won't. You know what? This is a thing. If you have an expectation, you're like, oh, I can't wait to see Banthas, and then you go through all eight episodes or whatever it is. You go through them all, and let's say it never happens, and you don't realize it didn't happen until after you watch that last episode and you kind of reflect on what you just saw. I think that's a sign of a good series, because you're not, the fact that it never happened never negated your love and appreciation for it. So I'm hoping that's how the series goes, where we're going to do our top 5 expectations for this season coming up, which is just going to be nonsense. But I'm hoping whatever, like my number one could be whatever, and if it never happens, fantastic. Yeah. I think it does happen because I'm pretty sure it's a trailer moment. I don't remember. Oh, great. Where is it? Oh, no, my number one's going to happen. 100%. Okay. No, sorry, go on.
So yeah, I'm psyched. I'm ready to get up at like it. When does stuff on Disney Plus drop? Is it usually like 2 a.m. or something like that?
I believe it's 3 a.m. at our time.
Gotcha.
Because that matches the West Coast midnight.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know when I'll be getting up for it, because I'm working from home now, so probably won't have to. I know Erin will want to watch it anyway, so I'll probably wait for her, but we'll see. We should record Friday at 6:30 a.m.
Okay.
I'm off on Friday. I took a vacation day.
Yeah.
So we're going to record on Friday. Brock, you're going to be at work, and we're going to record from you setting up, because you haven't been busy at all.
Yeah, not at all.
Not even a little bit, from what I heard.
Yeah.
We have Andrew Fantasia, your good friend, my nemesis. Yeah. You guys somehow made amends. I don't know how that happened, but you made amends. And he texts me and he says, I have something. I don't know if this is an odds or not. It's not really an odds, so I'm going to see who's now. He says, and this is from him. Now I want to know what your thoughts are on this. If we get one new character from canon, whether it be Ahsoka, Bo-Katan, Cobb Vanth, etc., one of those characters, who will it be and why? I would say, for argument's sake here, Brock, let's say we get all three of them. Who would we get first and why?
What does that mean? Aren't all these characters in it?
Not officially.
Right.
So they've all been rumored to be in it.
I don't know. I'm gonna go Ahsoka just because you don't tease that. I mean, it would be it would be genius if they have Rosario Dawson come on screen and she's not Ahsoka, and it's just been a whole bait and switch this entire time. Could you imagine the fan reaction? Because it's like you said, it's not guaranteed, but like at the same note, like of months of this, 7 months of talking about this announcement that she's going to be Ahsoka. It's like, I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. If you're just going out those 3 names, yeah, Ahsoka is the go-to in my opinion. If you're gonna do that, so like the wording of this makes no sense. If we get one new character, but then from canon, I don't know,
like what one new character to the show that we've already
an existing character in it. Yeah, I don't know. Those 3, Ahsoka, because it's like Bo-Katan is very interesting. Cobb Vanth, I could go this way or that on it. Like,
I'll tell you why I think the possibility of Cobb Vanth is high for him being brought in possibly very early on. Yeah. Because if we are getting Boba Fett in this series, Cobb Vanth wore the Boba Fett armor.
Sure.
So and I don't whether Cobb Vanth is in this or not. I don't know, and I'm not going to put a horse in that race at all because whatever. But if it is, that is a neat way to get us from Boba Fett armor to Boba Fett. Who is this guy in Boba Fett armor? Why does he have Boba Fett's armor? How did he get the set armor? And then, you can spiral down the staircase and to figure out Boba Fett's been following him all along. Or they just wipe out what we read in Aftermath and Boba Fett's just back in his own armor. I don't know. We'll see. But I mean, I think Timothy Oliphant was rumored to be Cobb Vanth. So, again, whatever, sure. But that for me, if any of the 3 come in, I don't know if it would be. I think Ahsoka would probably, like you, would be the most likely one. But I think Cobb Vanth is the one that you can use to get us to Boba Fett, which apparently we're getting.
Or you can just use that name and whatever it actually is whatever. You know what I mean?
No, that's also true. Oh man, if Ahsoka is not played by Rosario Dawson and Rosario Dawson's playing like Chitara, that would be the greatest thing to ever happen in Star Wars, period.
I'm just looking at IMDb. Katie Sackhoff is put in as Bo-Katan.
Yeah, but you could have wrote that in there.
Yeah.
That's the way IMDb works. We'll see. Do you hope, though, if we do get one of these characters look, it could be a different character that Andrew didn't mention. Like, just there's a character that's in there that we know from other Star Wars material. If they show up, are you hoping we get them in the first episode, or are you good with waiting a few weeks?
Asked me that pretty much a similar question today, but it was more like, oh, do you think Ezra is going to be in it? And I'm like, oh, I don't know. Maybe. I would, if there's any connection to Rebels, I'm in. That'd be so cool. But I don't know. I don't think this show needs any pre-existing characters to show up. It's, maybe I guess
Jar Jar. Jar Jar. I know what you're saying by not needing any pre-existing characters, and I kind of agree with you, but at the same time, because this is Star Wars and because we have so many pre-existing characters already,
sure,
I'm okay with them. I was reading this about the Winter Soldier Falcon show that is coming out. Apparently they're saying that they're going to grab a bunch of minor characters from early Marvel films and bring them to the forefront in this show.
Sure.
And I love that idea because if they already exist in the universe, I know people are like, but you shrink the universe. It's who cares? It's like everyone loves The Simpsons because everyone knows all the characters in The Simpsons. Do you know what I mean? Like the shrunk universe works. Now, if Mandalorian is like, well, you're like Vader's here, what? But if they take someone small, right, that not everybody is aware of, like a Cobb Vanth. You take someone like that, then I have no issue with them using that character in the show instead of just creating a new character for the sake of it. At the same time, I do agree with Dave Filoni where he said we didn't make the robot IG-11 because, which one's the original one now? I can't remember. IG-88. We didn't make him IG-88 because people, because there were all these non-canon stories, and I appreciate that as well. But I think you could find a fine line, and you could find characters that you could bring in now and use them that haven't been used properly in the past or much in the past, and that diehard fans will be like, oh, that's that character, and then you put a smile on some people's faces.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like it's a double-edged sword because it's like, yeah, you're right, but at the same note, it's like if you put Cobb Vanth in and somebody doesn't like how you interpret him or retcon him, then all we'll hear right? Like
yes.
So,
but that's why I think it's got to be the smaller character. Like it's got to be the lesser,
Like honestly, if you were telling me Cobb Vanth is in, I don't care about Cobb Vanth. I didn't read anything he was in, so it's like you could do anything with it and just be using the
and the thing is, I know you haven't, but having read it, you basically can't do that anyway. So. He's like the perfect character for someone to take and put them in a series after the events of Aftermath, because you could basically do whatever you want because he only exists in that that small little bubble that he exists in. And I'm just saying characters like that, like I said, if you bring in like Ahsoka is dangerous, right? Because if you bring in Ahsoka, and I mean Filoni's on it, so whatever, but you bring in Ahsoka and it's not Ahsoka, or they do this wrong or that wrong, that's going to cause issues with a lot of people. So, you're right. It's a double-edged sword for sure.
It's like, here's the thing. I know I was like, when the first season was about to come out, we're like, oh, would it be hilarious if Gary Busey Nick Nolte is a grizzled old man. Turns out he's a Boba Fett and he survives.
Yeah.
Which wouldn't work time-wise anyways. But especially now that we've finally had this Mandalorian war in Clone Wars, like they're spending all their money on Mandalorians. So it's like, why go to Boba Fett when you have all these? Like, Bo-Katan makes more sense to me than Cobb Vanth because I'm trying to think what happens to her at the end of Rebels.
She gets a Darksaber and rules Mandalore, which is to be perfectly honest with you, if you take those three characters that he had in there, Bo-Katan is the only one that my mind would even go to be in this show because of how she winds up in Rebels with the Darksaber, and now we see the Darksaber.
So like when I think what Mandalorians are right now, what they were like in Clone Wars, and what they were when it was just Boba Fett, it's sort of like, why would we even waste time on Boba Fett? Because it's like,
yes,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like, if they are wasting time on Boba Fett, which it really seems like they're going to, it intrigues me even more than Bo-Katan because, for me, Boba Fett was dead. Like, I was fine with him being dead and gone.
Yeah.
But if they're bringing him back, and let's say that was him at the end of that Tatooine episode, right? But that might have been Cobb Vanth. But anyway, if he does come back and that's him, what is his purpose? Why is he back? And that to me is very intriguing because I believe that the head, the masterminds behind this series would come up with a satisfactory reason and a necessity for Boba Fett to be around during a show called The Mandalorian.
Sure. I don't know.
If he's not in it,
I would like an answer to what happens at the end that episode with Ming-Na. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
I would like to know what was the, just even if it's nothing, it's like I could see an episode opening where we're back on Tatooine and you see her being carried over a shoulder or on a speeder or something, and then looks up and then they're like, oh, it's like, let's find out what happens. Maybe it works for the story. I don't know.
Well, that's probably going to be Boba Fett or Cobb Vanth that walked up to her at the end, because both of them would be in Tatooine at that time, and Cobb Vanth would definitely be in the Boba Fett armor, and possibly Boba Fett would be in the Boba Fett armor, depending on what they decide. No, I'm just saying, like, for those characters, it would make sense if those characters are put into the show. That would make sense for those characters to be there, because the timing all works out with when they're actually on Tatooine.
I don't know. I think you definitely, like, I could see where you're coming from, but there better be a good story to explain that. Like that's. Well,
that's the thing. Like, if you just bring Boba Fett in for the sake of being Boba Fett, I think it's lame. Cobb Vanth, on the other hand, why is this guy who's not a Mandalorian wearing Mandalorian armor? I think there you have an intriguing storyline that you could play out.
Perfect.
I muted my mic. But I'm really excited for this next season of whatever the hell this show's called. All right, you want to go to some odds?
Let's do it.
Never tell me the odds.
Never tell me the odds. Where did my email?
They're brought to us by Patreon. Thank you to all of our Patreon subscribers.
Our Patreon subscribers are Heidi Feder, executive producer, Barry Brophy, Dennis Allen, Mary Kristen Aton, Jeff Wilson, Phil Stanifor, Sooner Thrawn, Scott D, Josh Price, Matt W,
Rez, Frank Perkins, Neil Lowry, D. Raven Spencer, Gleek Play 1, Automated Joy, Disney Desi, Charlotte, Kayla Davis, Aaron Quinton, Jericho Kane. He did a Witcher cosplay. That was pretty cool.
Oh, nice.
Girls with Sabers, and the Den of Nerds, where they have a den, like a space in their house. Where only nerds are allowed to be. That's the Den of Nerds. Thank you all of our Patreon subscribers. You guys really means a lot to us. We appreciate that greatly. And thank you everybody for watching us and listening to us and on the spooky Halloween episode. Ooh, spooky. Have you watched Mr. Boogity yet?
No, not yet.
Yo, I haven't seen this since I was a kid. I'm thinking about watching it, but I feel like I loved it when I was a kid, and I kind of feel like it won't hold up very well. So I haven't. But Mr. Boogity, watch it. It was my favorite. And the main guy was in Forget Paris with Billy Crystal. Never tell me the odds. Will the first episode of season 2 be the best episode of season 2?
Oh, full Brock. Like, that's too early to tell.
I know, seriously.
That'd be kind of annoying if the best episode was the first episode, like, because you would become aware of that by the end. You're like, wait a second.
Which would you say, in your opinion, was the best episode of season 1, or your favorite, for that matter?
I don't know. It's maybe the last episode, because it all comes to a head. But
yeah, it was solid.
There's like a lot of good things in every episode. You know what I mean? Like, I know you're gonna say you like the egg episode.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't think that is many people's favorite. It's a personal one that I just really, really enjoy.
Yeah.
But I would say egg episode, the third episode is tremendous. The Bill Burr episode, and then the last two are phenomenal televised series. And episode 1's a really good opener for a character in a show.
Yeah.
And then, the fourth one, which might be the weakest one of the entire series, is still really strong in setting up aspects of what we need. We need that episode for the series. So yeah, it as a whole it was very strong. But yeah, the egg episode is just a personal favorite of mine. Though I probably the third one. But the egg one, I don't know. There's something about the egg one that I'm just always all in on. But anyway, I'm gonna go 40%. I think we'll get one. Yeah. I think we'll get 3 more that will all be unanimously be like that is better than the first episode, or stronger. I shouldn't say better, but stronger overall. Mm-hmm. We'll have a bigger reaction to it. The next side, do we get Ahsoka in episode 1 or 2?
No, I'm gonna say midway.
That just starts with Ahsoka. The very first shot is just, I'm Ahsoka! This is my show now!
Yeah. It's hard to make a call because you're just like, what is she going to do in that episode or in the series? You know
I of all the odds that we've ever done, this is the one that would not surprise me if we were dead wrong.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna go 20% that she's gonna be in the first 2 episodes.
Yeah, I was thinking 25.2.
Yeah,
but the hell do I know? like I said, she might be the first thing we see in the very first episode. Good old Ahsoka Tano, or as Twitter calls her, Ashoka.
Like if you put Ahsoka in it, it's like don't put her in right away unless she's in every single episode somehow. Like,
yeah, I'm with you. If she's only in it for whatever she's in it for, and they're basically using her to give her own show, just wait till the middle. I feel like and this is gonna be more of my top 5, but Mandalore is the most important thing to me right now. Is the state of Mandalore? Are they going to go to Mandalore? What's up with all that? And that's why, for me, Bo-Katan and possibly if it is Cobb Vanth with that angle of why is he wearing Mandalorian armor, those are for me more intriguing in this show specifically.
Right. Yeah.
Don't hate me, Ahsoka fans. I love Ahsoka. I'm just saying this show specifically because she hasn't even it's not like she's been teased at all. You know, it's not like Ahsoka's been teased in Mandalorian. We just think she's going to be in it because there's rumors that she's in it. Mm-hmm. And our final odd today, the odds of an original trilogy legacy character appearing at some point this season. Will we see a original trilogy legacy character?
This season... Maybe. I'm gonna go 45%. It's you gotta throw someone in, but like it might not be a massive character. Like it's something like this. It feels like you could drop Vader in, but Vader not alive at this point, right? So, yeah, I don't know.
I mean, you could get the Emperor in an old recording.
Yeah, I wouldn't be against that.
No, I don't think you would get Vader in an old recording. You could get Luke. You could get Luke. You know, a voice. You could I don't know. Are we including voices over comm? You know, we could get any one of those characters. Yeah. I'm gonna go full Brock on it. Yeah, because I mean, I don't know what they're doing. That's my problem. I don't know what the hell this season's about. And, you know, if you bring in Bo-Katan, if you bring in Ahsoka, if you bring in Cobb Vanth, if you bring in Boba Fett, if you bring in Rex, if you bring in all these characters, on one hand, you're like, well, where's the room for the original trilogy characters? But on the other hand, you're like, well, they could bring in anybody. So, I'm going to go full Brock because all bets are off on this one.
Yeah. There's too much unknowns. And, like... I've said before, I don't want to be predictable in any way. You know what I mean? I don't want to know that I figured it out. Like, so. Yeah,
no, I'm down with that too. I'm really excited to see what Friday. It ends like a week or about a week before Christmas. Mm-hmm. So I'm telling you right now, Favreau, if you end this season with something bad happening to Baby Yoda, hell will break loose by Christmas. But apparently they won't be shooting season 3 until the end of the year or something. So I don't know when we're getting that, but we're gonna have Cassian Andor and probably Obi-Wan to tie this over until season 3 of The Mandalorian.
Right.
All right, you ready for your news?
Yeah, let's do it.
Hollow news, da 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 da. Hollow news, do 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 do. My mic is off.
All the news, the news you need to know right now. We talked about it earlier. Mando Monday has basically happened. It is the new Force Friday, I suppose. They're dropping the Mandalorian action figures now. Not a ton revealing too much yet, but as we were talking, they released a set of 3.34 scale action figures in what they're calling the Vintage Collection, which contains the Mandalorian, Moff Gideon, the Armorer, Quill. I think there's a Grief Karga, and there's a Gina Carano. Anyways, but they are in the style of the old school Kenner action figures, so go and try to get them if you can. The Hasbro team has revealed that there will be Mandalorian that can take his helmet off, and apparently it is labeled Din Djarin, so you can't just call him Mando anymore. And of course, there will be plenty of Baby Yoda, so get to your local store and find that. High Republic has put out some artwork, I believe, on StarWars.com that you can check out for the first upcoming comic. It's going to be called Star Wars: The High Republic by Kevin Scott, with artists Ario Anidito and Mark Morales, and taking advantage of the piles of concept art illustrated during the project's long development period with Lucasfilm. The series will bring the world of the era set 200 years before the start of the Skywalker saga to visual life. The panel that they did for the New York Comic Con a few weekends ago, Susan Polo asked Scott Cavan about the arc of the story, which he says focuses on a new Jedi called Keeve Trennis. And from these new art pages, you can get a sense of him. It's like Keeve is a brand new Jedi just after the great disaster, just before the galaxy starts to reassess itself after such a terrible event. She's posted to Starlark Beacon, a massive space station which is out in the vast starless expanse of space, which literally acts as a beacon for travelers who are going out to the frontier. She thought she'd be sent out to an outpost. She prepared for that life, and suddenly she finds herself with some of the key Jedi of that era, that the people she looked up to as heroes are now her peers, and so she has to cope with that, especially when she starts meeting with some of the people that are involved in the Great Disaster and help so many people in that Great Disaster. So as we all know, High Republic will debut early 2021 with Charles Soule's novel coming out, but check it out when these comics begin to drop. And it's Halloween this week, so IDW does their usual annual celebration of the scary side of Star Wars with the return of Shadow of Vader's Castle, a special one-shot anthology of terrifying tales. Go over to StarWars.com. They have an exclusive first look at one of the stories within. A young Mustafarian learns that a Jedi has come to his homeworld and comes to and hopes to finally see one of the legendary heroes with his own eyes. But the man he finds is no guardian of the peace and justice. So that will be out this week, I believe, or next week. I don't even see it here. But if you want to see it now, go check out StarWars.com. Oh, here it is. It arrives on store shelves at November 4th. And it will be written by Kevin Scott, art by Francesco Francavilla, Derek Charm, and Nicoletta Baldari. And that'll be IDW branded. Cool? This has been your Hollow News.
Hollow News. Hollow Top 5. We're on to Top 5. Now let's do some Top 5.
Yeah. What's the top 5 today, James?
Today's Top 5 are Top 5. Hold on, I can't find it. Top 5 Mando Season 2 expectations. Don't have high expectations. It's going to be a terrible season. It's going to be the worst televised thing to ever happen to Star Wars in the history of Star Wars.
My number 5 is Ahsoka because I have no expectations, but yet we continue to talk about it.
My number 5 is just more amazing Baby Yoda moments. That's it. That would be all mine. Just give me more Baby Yoda. The minute he closed the egg in the Gamorrean guard, I was like, you already had me. Now you double have me. Stop having me. You want to do your number 4?
My number 4 is going to be an explanation of the dark saber, or black saber, dark saber. Why do I always screw this up? Dark saber?
Yeah. What? Yeah, because black saber is mentioned in Rogue One.
Right.
Dark
saber. So let's find out how Moff Gideon got it.
Maybe he was grand. We don't know. Yeah, I want more Moff Gideon, and I want a ginormous, extravagant, top 5 all-time lightsaber duel.
Nice.
I don't really care. I just want to watch the show. Just come on.
My number 3 is going to be explain what the Mandalorians are going to do, because we're given a small group of Mandalorians. The show is about his place to belong. So perhaps if we're including Bo-Katan, we can have more of a history of how they ended up on Navarro or something along those lines. Give us more information.
My number 3, I want to go to Mandalore.
Yeah.
Mandalore. That's Star Wars, but I use the word Mandalore.
My number 2 is I just want more origin story or more character development in Din Djarin, or as I like to call him, the Mando. I just want more of that story.
I want to know the Empire's purpose for wanting the child.
Yeah.
Show me. I would like to see the baby.
Yeah. My number 1 is, what is Baby Yoda? The end. Thank you.
That's fair.
Yeah.
My number 1 is, and this one's going to be tough, Brock. I'm looking at you for this one. It's going to be tough, but I want to have a good effing time. That's my number 1. I just want to have a good time. I do not care. Do you know why? Because whatever happens, I don't care. I'm not going in with any crazy theories. I'm just going to go and watch it. Although I do think one of the Gamorrean guards is going to become a Jedi Knight, but that's another thing altogether. And if that doesn't happen, this will be a terrible, terrible episode. A terrible season. No, I'm looking forward to it. We've talked about this for the past little while.
Yeah.
How can you not be excited for season 2 of The Mandalorian?
Yeah. It's their flagship show. Let's be real.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we'll see if Wanda or Soldier Winters can overtake it. But, yeah, I mean, you go on, like I said, I've been watching these things on Disney Plus, and the first thing I see is a banner for now it says The Big Fib, but normally it says Mandalorian, and now that I'm looking for it, it's for me to be a liar. But it's like Disney Plus, they want you to know that it's there. A part of me thought that maybe they would put a clip like they did for The Rise of Skywalker on, like a little clip. Rewatch The Mandalorian, you can watch a clip from season 2, but I'm okay with that not being there because, again, I'm going to be watching all of season 2 every single Friday from now until December 18th.
Yeah.
Have you seen the Olaf short? The new one?
No. Haven't even watched Frozen 2.
I don't really like, the Frozen movies are not my favorite, but I am a huge Olaf fan and supporter. I have not watched the short yet. I'm going to watch it right after Halloween because right now I'm in Halloween mode, but the minute Halloween is over, I'll be watching my Frozen. I love Olaf. I have an Olaf Pez dispenser. I'm a big Olaf fan. So I'm very excited for that.
Nice.
This has nothing to do with anything. It's just the Olaf thing came on the screen. No Mandalorian, but Olaf showed up. The magic of Disney's Animal Kingdom. The Right. Have you watched the Right Stuff?
No, but I've been wanting to.
And then The Nightmare Before Christmas. Which they're pushing for like a Halloween movie, but it's really like it's. I mean, it takes place after Halloween.
Yeah, it's more of a Christmas movie.
It's definitely a Christmas movie, but Halloween characters come like finding out about Christmas. Anyway, who cares? Watch them. You can watch anything whenever you want.
Absolutely.
Like, just take Hallmark, for example. You want to watch a Christmas movie September 2nd, you will watch it. The Mandalorian just passed. All right, Brock, anything else you want to add?
No, that's about it. I will see you on Friday.
Who are you going to see on Friday?
The Mandalorian. Boom.
All right. Anyway, Brock, I hope you have a safe and happy Halloween.
Yeah.
Are you going trick-or-treating?
No, it's a quarantine.
But have they banned trick-or-treating?
No. It's a quarantine.
You're too old to trick-or-treat anyway.
It's a quarantine.
It's not. We're not in quarantine. Oh no, you've actually where you live has reverted back. We're actually opening more here.
Uh-huh.
Like,
you live in the woods.
I know. They opened up the tree fort. It's exciting. We can go. Hi. All right. Anyway, I'm James. He's Brock. Happy Halloween, everybody.
Happy Halloween.
And that's for me and the guy who was always Scum.
Rebel Scum.
Hey scumbags, thanks for watching. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up on our video. As always, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Rebel Scum Podcast, for all the latest videos.